Life is good 13. 13 love to y'all. You are creation 13. Um Today I want to talk to you about um becoming aware that your life is a business. I mean, every little aspect that you do is business decisions in your life. Um and when you become aware of this, you'll be able to realize just how important your decision making is in your current life. And becoming aware of this is going to help you benefit yourself and benefit others along your path. So business decisions, just like any business, you're the boss that runs your business. You have to make the business decisions. You got to be able to pay the bills, um, play your employees slash associates, so on and so forth. You're the building block to make your business a success. And with that state of awareness, um, this brings forth your ideas and what you're wanting to manifest and create into your reality. And that it goes in so many ways. It does, because it all depends on what you are wanting to experience as well. Um, Whether it being that you do actually create a business, and you got to go through all that scenarios that I just talked about, or you can be a part of a business, being an employee or an associate. Either way, the involvement is still the same. You're still being part of a business, and you're still your own boss of your business, whether you're an employee or an associate or not, because you're still making decisions. Now, you may not always agree with decisions um, for those who are higher up or perceived higher up, but nevertheless, they still are business decisions. And you also have to become aware of how you respond to business decisions in life in general, because everything is a test. Everything is a test. You're always tested. Um, Mainly, the tests are for you, but it also tests the system, the matrix system, the whole business system itself. It allows this matrix system to discover what works and what doesn't work. This is why a lot of businesses fail, because there's no compromise of what works and what doesn't work. Sometimes people will stay so stuck in their ways, and not stay in tune with what um, the system is asking for. They lose business, and they get lost in interest, lose business, and then they go out of business. And being aware of that, you have to keep up with where the system is going, where the matrix system is going, where trends are going, so on and so forth, to keep your business up, to keep it rising up. There's a couple businesses that are smart in that sense, and aware that you have to keep up with reality, with perception and reality, and what sells and what doesn't sell, so on and so forth, as well as experimenting. I mean, you have to experiment with life. If you don't experiment um, with life, you're never going to learn. You're never going to grow. So when you learn and grow in life, it betters yourself and it betters others. And if you're seeing where this pattern is going with this video, it's realizing that you are in charge of all the decisions that you make in your life, in your reality. Everything is the same. Everything is a business. And it's not just, you wake up, you eat, you go to work, you do your thing, you come home. Maybe you complain about work or so on and so forth. You eat, you go to bed, and do it all again. You have to take more responsibility in your life than that, and look at ways to better yourself. Um, And it's not just, if you're an employee or an associate, you need to actually branch off and do your own thing too. Because if you're not running a business, you're just part of a business, you need to start running your own business too, which is your life and your reality outside work. Because that's a business in itself. Self, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-maintenance, uh, taking care of yourself, basically. That's where, you can take more responsibilities in, planting your own food, taking care of yourself, and not relying on the system so much. And that's what this whole change and shift is becoming um, your own boss, your own business in your life. So you're not having to wait for someone else to take care of you when you take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, like say if you build a greenhouse for every house, okay? Every single person builds a greenhouse, an expanded greenhouse that has everything you need in there. Um, Running water, like a river, um, garden, flowers, trees, so on and so forth, an expanded greenhouse on every house. So when you need food, you can just go right out there and go pick away and make it a 12, an all season greenhouse. So no matter if it's freezing cold or super hot, you don't have to worry about it because it's already conditioned and ready for you to go and get what you need to get. And then this also where it becomes a trading aspect of, say you have more of this stuff and your neighbor has this much you would like to trade. And therefore you become business partners. And that's how the world has to expand and grow. We have to expand and grow in the essence of what betters humanity. And this is what Star Trek talks about. Mainly Star Trek The Next Generation really talked about on how they decided, when they knocked out all the powers that be, or the old programming of business rules, the whole world united and just got together and focused on what benefited the world. Because when we expand, when the earth expands into the awareness that all planets have life, in some way, shape, or form, it makes our world into a city. So when our world becomes a city, we focus on just benefiting and making sure that city stays going, because since the world is so focused on, since humanity and the earth is the only focus, instead of it being a universal, they pinpoint each city and country as a own individual planet or universe. So that's why there is so much war and like, oh, I want to go dominate this, I want to go dominate that, control, 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 control. But when the world expands and, becoming aware that there's life on other planets, it's going to make our Earth a city. So then as humanity becomes aware of that, they're going to take care of their city more and say, hey, this is our planet. We have to take care of it as a whole, and we're going to unify ourselves, because we're going to be like, oh, there's this race of Arcturians, there's this race of Draconians that we have to deal with, and blah 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 blah. See, it's going to expand into more awareness of, oh, we're humans, we got to take care of our own planet, just in case if these other beings come forth, because it's awareness and state of being that there's always going to be good aspects of beings and negative aspects of beings. Always, no matter what multidimensional aspect you go into, there's always light aspect and night aspect, positive and negative, no matter what you go through, because this is how you grow as a soul, okay, as a state of being. It's not just this human avatar body you're in. You're revolutionizing your soul and your oversoul. And I'll talk more about that in another video. Or you can look it up on the internet. Either way. But yeah, it's always evolving and becoming aware and expanding your soul more and more and more. So there's always going to be positive and negative no matter what. So when this earth becomes a city and all these other beings start showing up all over the place, you can become more and more aware of it, and we're in Star Trek mode. Um, Humans are going to look at things in a whole different perspective. And that's why I highly encourage you guys to watch Star Trek or even Star Wars, both of them. Whether you're a sci-fi fan or not, it's going to help you become more aware of where we are going and just how foolish these powers that be are, and just how much humanity has fallen for their tricks. It's silly. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, life is a business. It is always a business, and if you don't know what business is, look into businesses. Look at the structure of creating a business. Now, you don't necessarily have to go to school. I mean, you have free school on the internet. You can look stuff up. You can go on YouTube. It's free. Just look up how to be a businessman or woman, business person, and expand upon that and become and take ownership of your business. Both inside work and outside work. So then you can better yourself and better others and benefit the world as a whole. Because we're all pioneers for this new world. And all of our ideas are going to manifest into reality. It's not going to happen in this right now, but over time, like when my kids are all grown up, that's when you're going to see the changes, because we're the pioneers and the ones that are making the ideas for them to expand into a new world. It's like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, and things are in phases, because we're getting tested and seeing where we are taking humanity, because we are the pioneers that are helping humanity change and better themselves. That's why Star Trek was created, to make us aware of the kind of change that we need to get to that point. There's an episode of Star Trek that Ryan Delia and Ryan Conscious made, that was talking about these characters that were frozen in time, and they got on thawed, and they were, I think, in the late 19th century, like say 1990, in the 1990s, right? So they unthawed, and they ended up on the Enterprise, and they were like, well, where's the money? Where's the TV? I have all this money in the world, I'm going to give you $1 million. Well, Picard was telling them that's not how the world works anymore. The world works into benefiting the human race as a whole, Earth as a whole. So, greed and everything disappeared. And everything is about helping the world grow and grow and grow. And with that being said, that means any rebellious people, like say, oh, we don't agree with this, we should go back to the whoever has the most money and control rules the world thing. They will be considered the rebellious ones and will be taken care of. This is where it's gonna flip your world upside down. This is why we keep talking about this flip, because it's gonna change everything. So the powers that be that rule money and everything like that, rule the banks and rule all this so forth, the Freemasons and the Masonic ruling on this planet is going to be flipped. So they're all going to get thrown in jail while we all rise up. That's where the whole flippy thing is going to happen. And this is why it's so important to live by your heart, because this is what the world is going to need, is living by the heart. Not living by the mind and not living by selfish greed. Because if you live by selfish greed, you're just going to fall down and be just a rebellious rebel. And even in Star Trek, there's always going to be rebellious. There's always going to be politics, no matter what. That's why Star Trek is such a great series, because it really shows you such a wide perception of, of what happens in realities. And that's why it's a business no matter what. Your soul is, you run your business with your soul. So anyways, as you're playing around in the illusion, no matter how far it expands or what you experience, um, it's all part of revolutionizing your soul and uplifting your soul. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyways, yeah, so life is a business. Hopefully this will help you look at that perspective of business, and as well as make you guys more aware of where we're going with these, you know, as we are pioneers, where we're going with humanity and what we want to see happen for humans. Because we want to see humans grow and mature and blossom into the Star Trek state of being, so we can expand and evolve, so the Earth can evolve up. I watched like a movie or something that showed that. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was um Welcome to World's End or something like that. It's the characters that were in Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I think it was called At World's End. But the basic part of the movie was they were just going around trying to hit all. Holy cow! I think it was like 12 bars or whatever. The last one was At World's End. So they eventually make it at World's End. They go down and they talk to this higher intelligence being. And you can go ahead and just watch the movie. But basically, it showed the Earth down here while all the other planets were up here. It was basically saying that Earth is in such a low state, and which is true to an extent. So when we rise up, we're going to be at level with all the other planets, so we can actually interact with all the planets. So we're down here rising up. It was just something cool that I saw on that movie, and I was just like, that is awesome. So yeah, so we're gonna rise up with the other planets, so then we can all play in all the playgrounds, not just Earth's playground, but in all the playgrounds, so we can interact and have fun. Which is why we're telling you guys we're going to become part of the galactic family. So yeah, so anyways, I want to go ahead and end it on that. So yeah, so life is a business. Become aware of it. Start strategizing your life and building your life, and building your foundations for others. Whether you're single or you have a family and you have kids. Because if you have kids, you have more responsibility because you are the pioneers for their generation. They're going to need ideas. They already have their own ideas. I mean, the kids now are super smart. My kids still astonish me every day with the things that they know and learn. And I'm sure all you other parents out there who have kids are experiencing the very same thing. So yeah, so we're pioneers for them, so then they can help us grow what our ideas are. So yeah, so anyways, take care of yourself. Start strategizing your business, which is your life, and be that pioneer that this world needs, so that we can get into Star Trek mode a lot quicker. So if you got any questions, let me know. I love you all very much. Take care of yourself. Take care of your soul. Always realize that there is always going to be positive and negative in life, no matter what. This is how we evolve and grow as a soul that goes into our oversoul. So yeah. So I love you all very much. Namaste, Lakech. Keep shining bright. Love yourself, and talk to you in a little bit.